welcome to episode 21 of Reputation Rescue at Lazio with me, the United City FM. So we have reached the very end of the season and there's still quite a lot to play for. We've got a double game episode today just to finish off the episode, the season, because we've got one last game to play in Serie A. And it's a game that could still impact the title as well as our position in this top four, which is fantastic that we managed to get in there. It's been an amazing run that I'll show you in a second. And then we have Real Madrid in the Euro Cup final, the Europa League final, and that's still to come as well. So 2 games to play today for the very last point in this particular season that started so badly. This run of form at the beginning was such hard work to get through. We almost lost the job at the end of December, but we regained it through this January period where we won a couple of games. It became a bit bitty just while we reshaped the side in formation and tactic and personnel. But after the January transfer window closed, look at this run. Absolutely magnificent all the way through. We've looked fantastic, hardly let a goal in if you look through that list. There's a lot of clean sheets there. It's been absolutely amazing to see. Such a good turnaround, and what it's left us with is a Euro Cup final against Real Madrid, having beaten Milan in the semi-final 1-0 both times, and then in the Serie A title race, we're not going to win the title. We're a bit behind that this season, but with that form for the back end of the season, next season is going to be a lot of fun, you would hope, if we get some of our decisions right in the transfer window. But look at this. We have secured a Champions League spot for next season. 1 game left against second place Napoli. Can we deny them the title? And can we stay above Inter Milan and finish in 3rd spot? At the turn of the calendar year, when we moved into January, we were in like 12th and so far behind. But it's been such an amazing run. We didn't do so well in the Italian Cup. We got knocked out in the quarterfinals, but that's for another day. That's fine. But what a fantastic second half of the season. And so all of that means that today we play Napoli to see where we finish in the top 4, and we play Real Madrid for European silverware. So let's see how we get on. In the first game, if we go and look at the tactics, obviously our tactics are set and secure now, which is fantastic. We do have 1 or 2 little issues here. We've got an injury to Lazzari still. He's going to be out for just another few days, so hopefully he'll make it back for the Euro final, but I doubt it. It's in 3 days from now, or whatever it is. I don't think he'll make it back, but there we go. Radu is the unregistered player, of course. Everybody else is fit and healthy and ready to play. Cataldi's the one that hasn't played as much recently, but you can see most of the other ones have got good match sharpness because they've been rotated a bit here and there to get us through some of the difficult games. But yeah, big game today against Napoli. 3 days from now, we've got a Euro Cup game, should I say, against Real Madrid. But I want to secure as high a place in Serie A. It's the most important thing for me in this particular save. All the way through, we've talked about the most important thing being Serie A. We're not so bothered about the European stuff in this particular series. So I'll put all of my eggs in the Serie A basket. We'll see if we can get this team to get us a 3rd place finish. And then whatever happens in terms of player fitness and other bits and pieces for the final, we'll just go with. And if we need to rotate the squad a little bit, we will. So that's the plan anyway. So for the first game against Napoli in Serie A, to see if we can secure 3rd place, we have Strakosha in goal. We've got Felipe and Acerbe in central defence, Henriks on the right, Muru on the left, Gagliardini, Milinkovic, Savic and Alberto in central midfield, Trincao on the right instead of Lazzari, Correa on the left and Immobile up top. And pretty much everybody else on the bench, as is the way in this particular series. The one that I am going to change round, I'm not quite sure why he's sitting there, is we will move this around a little bit and then put Anderson in instead of Cataldi. Sorry, I didn't realise I needed to reshape a little bit, but I just felt the need to. So that's the way we're going to set up. Doesn't affect the starting lineup. So let's get into the first game and see what happens. So we've gone with the media, have given you a lot of credit recently. Go out there and put on a worthy display, put the pressure on them at home against a really top quality side, but to show that they are in good form and that they're right to be backed by people. But this is going to be a really tricky game. I do know that, absolutely. Napoli, fighting for their lives in that title. They need to win and hope that Juventus lose today and see if they can get their top spot. And they are the first team above ours, which is slightly disappointed, to potentially be able to go hunting for that zebra in this particular series and take them out on that top spot in Serie A. But we can deny that today and hopefully do that ourselves next season if things go really, really well. So let's see how we get on. So chance to build up from the back for us in our controlled possession, which is what we like to play. A nice easy route through central midfield, good amount of passing of the ball, sitting in triangles to move the ball around. You can see that midfield triangle there, which is fantastic. Correa down the left hand side, gets into the box. He's got a wide option if need be. Rise a challenge, good attempt at goal, but the goalkeeper manages to parry it, and we didn't quite manage Immobile onto the loose ball. The defence cleared it. Corner comes in though, and whoa, that was a completely free attempt from Correa, and I'd liked him to have done a little bit better, to be honest. It's straight down the sides of the goalkeeper, because everything opened up for him off that corner kick. And he had a decent effort, but not quite enough. Again, with Alberto on the corner kicks, he's great corner kick taker, set piece specialist overall. And we still have the ball. Immobile, and there's a good block from a defender in that position. And then the goalkeeper gathers up the second shot. But we are piling on the pressure here for a team that is challenging for Serie A. 8 shots to their 1 in the first half. They've had more possession, but we've done so much more with it than they have. And what are Juventus doing at this point? Zebra 1-0 up, so it looks like they're going to secure the title, whatever happens here. But we are in with a shout of getting a decent result, and we're at Inter Milan. They're drawing their game. So far, so good in our favour. So we're going to tell the team that assertively, we've been the better side here. Go out there and make this happen, kind of thing. It's just got to be. We are playing so well. The momentum is certainly with us at the back end of this season, and Napoli are struggling to hold on to our coattails a little bit. But of course, the second half can bring anything. If we don't remain focused and considered in what we do, they can counter-attack us perfectly easily and get something. But it's still remaining quiet. I think we need to rotate a little bit some of this squad, just for the thought that we've got a final coming up as well. So we're going to take Correa out, partly because of his yellow card. And we're going to take Milinkovic-Savic out as well. Locatelli has done so well in that role when he's played recently. And we'll take Felipe out as well, just because of those yellow cards more than anything else. And it protects a couple of key people through the side for the final as well. So we'll do that and see how that helps us for the next 15-20 minutes of the game, just as we see out this Serie A season. 10 minutes left. It's still 0-0. It's gone really quiet. The shots at goal are not quite happening. So just for a second, we're going to put... Oh, no, we've got a free kick. Let's run the free kick and see what happens. And if it doesn't change anything, we might do something in a second. But Alberto over the free kick. Oh, just misses it. So we are going to go in and we are going to just change it up for the last few minutes of the game into the gegenpress attacking style, just to see if we can push them into a mistake higher up the pitch and potentially get something from it. So let's see how we get on. Locatelli back to a Serie, and we keep the ball well at this point. Let's hope that Strakosha doesn't go too long. He doesn't. He moves it back into defence to move through the system of play, as it were. Up down the right-hand side for Trincao. Cuts in on his left foot. And Immobile in the near post. Moves off of his marker. Cuts inside his marker. Makes that run towards the near post. And Trincao just drops it back onto his left foot and crosses a lovely ball in. And it's Immobile with a fantastic finish. And in the dying seconds of the game, we managed to find a 1-0 lead and a brilliant run off that defender from Immobile. And immediately we'll go defensively just to see if we can see this game out. But it is Napoli with a corner kick, and they've got it into the box and they missed their shot. We were very lucky, just as I was trying to find the right button to go defensive and work from the counter-attack for the last few seconds of the game. But what a fantastic effort it was from Immobile. Strakosha definitely taking his time there, which is great. But then a slightly wayward ball, and Tuanzebe comes away with it down their right-hand side. But we nick it from them. Brian with a good foot in, and the seconds are ticking away really, really slowly. We need to get through to the end of this game, but it's Napoli coming at us again. Strakosha comes out and claims the ball and commands his area, which is what we need him to do, which is fantastic. And there's the final whistle. And on the last day of the season, we beat a team that was right up there challenging for the title all the way through the season. This demonstrates what we've been able to achieve in this second half of the season. So we need to get those transfers right over the summer, and we're not going to get a lot of money to play with. We've already had the budget, and it isn't big. So we might have to loan in a couple of players maybe, but well done for that particular performance. That was pretty spectacular. Let's come back out there. I'll just show you the finances a little bit because that has already been set, I seem to remember. But our finishing position in Serie A is 3rd place on 75 points, which is pretty special considering where we were halfway through. And next season, we need to continue this run of form and see if we can get back up to that top spot area and overthrow Zebra, go hunting for Zebras next season. So that's definitely the plan. Let's go through this. Zebra do the double. Napoli suffer final day heartbreak. Thank you very much. We'll take that. Solskjaer is still looking at Immobile. Great. Look at him all you like. You'll have to pay huge money for him. Lazio to receive 3.5 for their Serie A finish. Collective bonuses paid out. So let's go and have a look at the finances. You can see we've only been given £14 million for next season's budget. Before all the prize money comes in and stuff, that's what we've been given. We've got a lot to play with here, so we'll have to move it around a little bit. We can get a little bit more money there. But it's not going to be the easiest of summer to attract big names or better names with a small budget. So we'll have to go hunting for bargains, I think. Anyway, that's for a future episode. For now, we move on to Real Madrid and the Euro Cup final. So give me a second to get through to that match, and then we'll check what happens there. So here we go for the Euro Cup final, the Europa League final. We've got a couple of issues. Anderson is suspended through having picked up yellow cards and stuff through the competition. We've got Lazario, who's not quite fit enough to come back into the team just at this point. And we've got Brian Gill, who's out because he's unregistered. When we changed so many of the squad in the January window, we couldn't quite register everybody. And unfortunately, he was the player to miss out on this particular run. Everyone else is fit and healthy, though. So we're going to go with the same starting lineup that started the previous game against Napoli. They're all fit and healthy enough to do it, which is fantastic. Everybody else, that means, will be on the bench today, other than those 3 players that we've identified. So, again, the starting lineup is Strakosha in goal, Felipe and Acerbe in central defence, Henriks at right back, Muru at left back, Gagliardini, Milinkovic-Savic and Alberto in central midfield, with Trincao on the right, Correa on the left and Immobile up top, and everybody else that's available on the bench. So Real Madrid come in with a couple of injuries themselves. Eden Hazard is out and Varane is out as well. So they've got a couple of issues, but they're still really, really strong. So let's get into the second game of the episode. Let's get into the second game of the episode, I was trying to say, and see what happens. So I decided to go with, we've got nothing to lose here. We know how good we are. Let's show everyone else. I think Real Madrid are definitely favourites. So I don't want to pile the pressure on to get a specific result. I just want us to calmly play the way that we've been playing for the last few months and keep that momentum running as much as we can and see how we cope with this particular final. Real Madrid are a great side. Ruben Neves has been brought in. They've got Bale, Rodrigo, Jovic. Cruz is still there. Sergio Ramos, Courtois in goal. They're a good setup, but we've got form again. Form is going with us, and we've got the momentum going with us. So hopefully we can compete. If we can keep it tight right the way through till half time, which will be a great achievement, then anything can happen in the second half. But here's a chance then for Digne to get the ball in on the set piece. But we come away with it ourselves. Correa sprints away with the ball, currently down the right-hand side. He'll attempt to stop, I would think, and try and get other people involved. Fortunately, the cleared ball goes straight back to us and we get to reset our shape slightly. And Milinkovic-Savic on the ball. Muru down the left-hand side. Doesn't have Correa there to support because he'd moved over right-hand side briefly. But we're keeping the ball, which is fantastic. As long as we don't make any silly errors, this is something we've seen in my other series in the Derby and England setup, that if we play this style, we work chances like this, and Milinkovic-Savic blasts it wide, and just a little bit of composure just at the end would have seen a magnificent Euro Cup goal, but it doesn't quite work for us on that occasion. In my recent series, you'll have seen, if you've been watching, we've done some amazing stuff recently. But it's this controlled style of possession that's been really working for us. Again, a really good chance from Trincao, but blasts it over the top of the bar, really. And a little bit of composure just on the edge of that 6-yard box would have done us more favours there. And it's Immobile that we need to get into the game more. We need to create the chances for him, because that's who's going to get the goals for us primarily. But we managed to get to half-time, still with a clean sheet, which is fantastic. And still everybody's fit enough and playing well enough to continue. So that's good also. So we are going to boost them a little bit here. Passionately say, let's think. It's time for everyone to dig in and give what you've got to the end of this particular match. One last half of football, hopefully, unless we go into extra time, but one last half of football to really give everything you've got to and try and get a decent result at the end of it and bring home a piece of silverware. And it's a chance for us to build an attack down the left-hand side. Milinkovic, Savic and Muru working brilliantly together there. Alberto, and the ball goes over the top for Henriks. Rises a challenge, gets in the box, holds it up. Doesn't quite get the ball in though, and they clear it really quickly, and it's Jovic who's picked up that loose ball, cuts in on his marker, and then fortunately wayward shot, but we lost that ball, and then they absolutely mullered us on the counter-attack. We had nobody there really to stop the momentum. And at 60 minutes, we're just about to think in a little while about substitutions that we can make and see how we can impact this game. They've already made a couple, so let's go and see who it is that needs to be rethought slightly. It's Immobile up top, who's not getting in the game, let alone getting the chances. Do we risk putting someone like Greenwood in there for such a big game? Acerbe's got a yellow card, but he's motivated, which is good, and he's got a weak link next to him as well. It's complicated to know how to change this. We're going to take Trincao off, and I know that we don't quite have Locatelli in there, but yeah, we're going to Locatelli should no, Lazzari. There's two Lockers. Lazzari isn't around here. I bet you're all screaming, go, Kev, it's Lazzari. It's Lazzari, Kev. Anyway, we haven't got him. Gravenberch will come in and do a good job down there. He's played it for me a couple of times this season already when we had a few issues. And we are going to take Immobile off. We're going to have to do it. Greenwood comes on into that position because that's not a good enough rating. And then we're going to make one more change. And do I take one of the big guys off? No, I don't think I will. I am going to take Acerbe off and bring Armini on, just because of that yellow card, and I want us to stay with 11 men right the way through to the end of the game, especially if we have to go into extra time. So that was my thinking there. I'm sure you'd have all done, 3 different things to what I did potentially, but that's the choices you make, and it's Real Madrid on the ball. Are they going to sucker punch us towards the end of the game? I think we've coped pretty well up until now, but they have it down the left-hand side onto Fischer, and he cuts it inside, and they're keeping the ball nicely. Our shape's good. Can we get a foot in anywhere and stop them in their tracks and counter-attack on them? You can see we are pushing just a little bit to test that out, but it's Jovic, and the ball went over the top. I don't think there was an offside issue at all. VAR will show us that, I'm sure, but it's Jovic who picks it out of the air really nicely, controls it very, very well. And it's Ramos on the ball as we speak. He cuts it right the way over the top. Such a good control on that first touch, isn't it? And they go 1-0 up with 15 minutes to go. So we pause the game, and we are going to have to go attacking. And we're going to change it into the attacking version of the Gegenpress, and just see if we can win that ball closer to their goal and get a chance ourselves in the last 10 minutes of the game. So disappointing, isn't it, really? I'm sure it's partly down to my substitutions, and partly down to it's Real Madrid, and partly down to all sorts of things, but so unfortunate to have that one goal against us when I think we've played quite well. Casemiro again moves it out wide left this time for Real Madrid into the near post, and the header goes over the top. They're putting on the pressure a little bit now. We've got 1 minute left, and there is a highlight. Can we work this ball through the side and get it up to the opportunity for a chance ourselves? The ball is reached Alberto, good player to have on it. Muru down the left-hand side. Can he ride a challenge and get past his fullback? Early ball in, Greenwood under it, but they get a header from, I think, Ramos possibly. And then they get it cleared up to Jovic. And are they going to again get us on the counter-attack, having pushed our team forward? And it's Courier. Has he got himself into trouble here? It's only a booking. That's fairly fortunate, really, I think. I thought for a second it was going to be worse than that. But it means that Real Madrid have got control of the ball, of course. And time is ticking, and they're going to take their time. And it looks like that's it for the final. And it is. They just stood there and waited for the referee to count down the game. And Real Madrid win the Euro Cup final 1-0. It's disappointing, isn't it? But such a good end to our season overall, considering where we've been through this season. So I'm not going to be too harsh on the players, but today they didn't quite manage it against a very, very good team. So we'll go in and calmly say, unlucky boys, and just leave it at that for them, build their confidence in the fact that it was just one of those days today. And there you go, Real Madrid win the Euro Cup final. We get defeated. They lift the trophy. We've been given a bit more cash, which is always good. Who has he spotted watching? Several of the Real Madrid players and Alberto. So, okay. Interesting. What's that for us? Next Spain squad. So, okay. He's just looking at international players, not looking to take any of our players away, which is good. We receive another 9.78 million for that. Further, the cash is just being chucked at us at the moment. We've paid out some money. So what does that mean financially where we're at now? 25 million in the bank, 14 in the transfer kitty, enough to move around the wages. So we are going to have to restructure that a little bit just to get a couple of players in. There are already a couple of bits of business that we've done. We've secured a couple of these loan players. Now, was Greenwood one of them? He's one of them. We've got him till 2022, so he's in for another season. Trincao, I don't think was. They want to take him back at Barcelona and give him a chance, so he's not staying. Brian Gill is one of the ones that we've secured till next season, so he stays in the club on loan. He's done pretty well down that left-hand side for us. And the other one is Henriks, and he isn't. Again, his club, which is Monaco, want to give him a run in their first team next season, which is unfortunate, but we might go in with a sneaky bid anyway. He's not an expensive player necessarily. But yeah, so we've got a couple of positions that we need to sort out, but a couple that we've already done something for. So that'll do it for this particular episode, though, and this particular season with Lazio. Let me know in the comments below how you felt about this campaign so far, because it was such a weird season, but we have definitely turned it around. And what are your expectations for next season? Are we going to be able to claw back that 13-point gap to actually win the title, or are we just going to have to inch closer and maybe not quite do it next season? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Till next episode, though, and a brand new season in the Reputation Rescue series, thanks for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel, join my United City community, the more the merrier. Click that like button for me and let me get seen by lots of other people. If you keep clicking and keep commenting, more people will spot my content. So if you could do that for me, that'd be great. Till next time, though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.